Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. This one's a little bit different from the usual fighter videos. We are solo, and we are using pretty low gear for the most part. However, we are using a dual wield Slayer fighter build. Now this is one that I didn't get to mess around with too much in the playtest, but I did a few runs, and yeah, it turned out to be pretty fun actually, and rather strong in the right situations. It struggles with health and armor because it doesn't allow you to equip any plate, but it does give you extra attack damage, attack speed, and with the adrenaline skill you can really attack pretty fast in the fight, so as long as you burst in your opponent, it's a pretty strong build. However, if you get mobbed and targeted by 3 people at the same time, you're probably going to die pretty quick, because you don't really have too much physical damage reduction as things go. But yeah, we started off in a pretty good area of ruins. The camp was one of the better areas to loot. You have the table with the weapon on it. Got a lion's head chest, which is usually open from the start. Don't need to be a rogue most of the time. I would take a couple of hits here from the skeleton archer, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, it happens even to all of us at some point. Sometimes you just get hit by them and you can't help it. Yeah, I was kind of curious actually. I was gonna ask you guys who are watching the video, what other games do you guys actually play? Because I know the Dark and Darker community are probably pretty experienced when it comes to games, and not a lot of new gamers. I was just wondering what kind of games community actually plays aside from Dark and Darker, so let me know in the comments what you guys are up to now that the game's down, or what you were playing before the playtest went up. Yeah, we use the new rest feature here, just to regain a little bit of HP. Just a brief moment of respite from the dangers that the ruins pose, before we get back up and start looting around, smashing the barrels and the crates, looking for any upgrades we can get. Because once again, we aren't very geared, so trying to get those upgrades early on so we can PvP a little bit more efficiently later on in the raid. Pretty unfortunate with our drops there. Getting nothing. Did find a nice green trinket there, which is lovely. And that was my Steam. Don't worry about it. I was playing, I had Steam open in the background, and that was my Steam notifications. Just don't want to bait any of you to check your Steam there. But yeah, the Slayer build and the dual wielding, I feel there's probably a good way it could be improved, is actually being able to make use out of both of your weapons. As it stands right now, there isn't really much reason to be using 2 weapons. Most of the time you're better off equipping one for bonuses, and then the other one which you're going to use mainly. So, you know, if you want to equip 2 weapons, you're going to use one, and the second one you just want to have like plus attributes on it or something, and just use it to get the bonuses from the perks. So perhaps in the future they can add a way to actually, you know, combo the weapons attacks, or use them both at the same time, because as of right now it's not really, it doesn't feel too special, you know, you're really only using it for the perks and the skills. I mean, it can help if you need a different like combo attack or a different style in a certain situation, but most of the time you're going to be sticking with using just one weapon. Now we do have a pretty full inventory here. I need to drop that round shield, if I remember correctly, because that's just the basic one that you start with. Don't know why I'm carrying that, I'm sure I'll drop that later on. But yeah, we do get some interesting PvP coming up soon. You guys will get to see the Slayer build in action, which is pretty fun. Fun build to use. Definitely one which I'll probably try more next time the game comes around. I got a few runs in with it. I used a mace, I think, as my primary weapon in the runs that I did before with Slayer, and it was yeah, it was bonking pretty hard, to be honest, because one of the perks adds 5 damage to your weapon, which is honestly it's a big chunk. And here we use the skeleton as cover as we're pushing the ranger up the stairs, just ducking behind him, making it so he can't shoot. And then we get pretty close. Turns out there's a fighter up here too. Dispatch him pretty quick. And then the skeleton steals my kill. God. Anyway, we take out the skeleton as a little bit of revenge. But yeah, we did get an SP double kill there, if you count that second one as a kill. I'm sure he was dead even if the skeleton wasn't there. Yeah, they didn't have the best loot on them. Pretty average as things go. Looks like one of their friends had died because this ranger had a soul heart in his inventory. So it was a 3-man, but the other one must have died to PvE or from an earlier fight. We just grab what we can. Circle is coming in, so can't take too long here. We're on the edge. It's not the worst place to be as a solo. I don't mind playing the edge so much, but in runes, I feel it's better to play around the center. I'm not a big fan of getting caught on the outside because all of the time you can be gatekeeped pretty hard in this map. It is very open, but there are a lot of kind of narrow passages when it comes to entrances, so gotta be careful. Now you do end up with a lot of healing from these two guys, which is nice. I don't normally take in a lot of healing, I like finding it. That way I'm maximising my profit. But yeah, we dispatch of those guys and then look to drop down and see what's up. See if we can find any more people. Now, there's a Shrine of Protection down there. As a solo player, guys, you know, for the next playtest, or, you know, maybe you already do this, but learning the maps and learning where all the shrines are is really useful as a solo because you want to be using the shrines as much as possible. Unfortunately, that one was already taken, but you know, if I get that Shrine of Protection, it makes, you know, a fight against 1v3 10 times easier, so knowing where those shrines are is pretty instrumental if you're playing solo. And I believe we do see a couple of people in that big room. And Circle's pushing us in, so we're just going to have to push in from this angle. Let's see what we can do. We grab the Fountain of Speed. Accidentally look away. Fountain of Speed's a good one, especially as a fighter. It means you can engage and disengage at your will. And we decided to get into melee combat with these guys. 2 rogues, as per usual. Get a couple of hits on them before they absolutely mob us. Throw the second wind on. Use the shrine to run away, bait one of them, and manage to take him out nice and easy. Now we just gotta look for the second one, keep our eye out, make sure he doesn't sneak up on us. Take out the skeletons. And I believe he did just die to a skeleton, as you can see in the kill feed at the top right, but yeah, I was hoping I'd get to at least land the finishing blow on him, but it seems as though the skeletons are stealing all of my kills on this run. I think he died whilst he was doing the portal. Yeah, just grab his stuff. Just take our time and kill the skeleton as well. We've still got a little bit of time left to grab some loot at the end. Most likely the last person in this raid now, so we can just grab as much as we can, try and get that full inventory, and then we can leave. Perfect. But yeah, the Slayer build was pretty strong. I've got a few more videos of the Slayer build. I'll probably upload those as well so you guys can see it in more action, where I use a little bit better gear and against more people. I had a few 1v3s with the Slayer build and they were pretty intense and a lot of fun. But yeah, just more of the first video in the Slayer series. But yeah, let's take a look and see what loot we got. We did find a lot of nice trinkets there, a couple of greens, and yeah, it sells for a pretty penny. It all adds up at the end of the day. Well, that's pretty much all for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.